Hello everyone. Last week I promised that I would share a quick video showing you how to make these cute little dotty embellishments. These are raised dots, so tactile, they just feel really smooth and nice to touch. Very simple to make. These were the ones that I used for the owl paper piecing project last week. So let me just talk through what you are going to need. To start off with, you need some kind of circle punch. I've got lots of them. This is a 1 inch, ½ inch. I've got a 2 inch, 2.5 inch, which is the same size as Artist Trading Coins. I've also got a really cute flower punch that I thought I might try today as well. I like to punch mine out of black cardstock. This is 300 GSM cardstock, but you could, print these out, punch these out in any colour you like. So let's just punch a couple of those. This is just a piece of scrap that I've got left over from another project. And then you want to glue them down to another piece of cardstock. I'm using white just so that you can see them, because what I've found that if you don't stick these down, when you're making your dots, they lift, and that's when you end up with all kinds of smudging, and it just makes it more difficult for you. So let's see if we can squeeze. Well, in fact, we can squeeze one of these on here. That will do, just to show you. I'm using a removable glue stick. This is the Scotch brand removable stick. I've got a feeling they've changed the name of this. This one's quite old. I think they now call them repositionable glue sticks. Some of you might have repositional glue on one of those roller doodads. Use whatever you have. A tiny weeny bit on the back is just enough just to secure that down and hold it in place so that the coins don't lift, the circles don't lift when you're doing your dot painting. If you don't have a removable glue stick and don't want to go to the expense of buying one, they're about, I don't know, a couple of pounds, something like that. Just use a tiny bit of regular glue stick, not too much, just a tiny bit, and you should be able to peel it up quite easily. Now you can see that I've cut out loads of these because I just like to do them in a batch. Once you start, it's just really difficult to stop, really easy. The other thing you're going to need is some kind of mark making tools. Now I like to use these crochet hooks. These are Crystalites and they've got a flat bottom. I wish I did, but you don't need Crystalites. You can use things that you'll find in your stash. So for instance, if you've got a pencil with an eraser top, that's a great marking tool. You want things with different sizes. You could use a cotton bud. This is one of my pastel pencils. This would be ideal for making marks. This is some kind of tool out of my jewelry making stash. I use this quite a lot. That's perfect. If you've got one of these retractable pencils as well, this one here has got a rounded bottom, and that would also be ideal. Also use styluses, is that the term for it? I think most of us have probably got a set of these in our stash. And again, these just make great dot marking tools. And of course, in a set, you've got several different sizes. So have a think about what you might be able to use if you want to give this a try. To start off with, you're going to need some kind of acrylic paints. I've got these little mini pots here. These are the Americana brand. These are absolutely ideal. So you could use those. They're just acrylic paint. Or you can use your craft paints. And what you would need to do is just give it a really good shake and then work directly out of the lid. Let's start off by doing that, seeing as this is already open. I'm going to use one of the Crystallite crochet hooks to start off with, and you're just going to dab some paint. Let's just give this a try to start off with, try and get it even. So I'm just going to apply some dots and I'm dipping back into that paint for each one. I love this colour. This is actually enamel paint that I picked up for about 30p from the scrap store. Use any paint you have. This gives really nice coverage, and we can squeeze one more in there like that. Then grab a piece of kitchen towel, wipe off your paint from the end of your tool. What colour shall we do next? Let's do a nice bright pink. So again, this is just one of the cheap Docraft Artiste paints. I'm going to open it over my bin just in case we've got some crusty bits, which we have. And this time I want a larger mark making tool. I'm just going to use the eraser on the end of this pencil. And I'm just going to add one more dot in the center like that. Let's use a smaller crochet hook. Let's use the pink this time. So we'll go around here like this. And I just find it easier to work from the outside because that way we don't need to measure anything. We don't need to find the center. Go back into that one again because I didn't have enough paint on my tool. We've got room to squeeze two more in. There we go, like that. Some of the paint, of course, is more translucent than others, so we could always go over it again if we wanted to. What shall I use for the centre of this one? Perhaps some white. Look at all these crusty bits here. Good job I opened it over my bin. And this time we'll use the end of this pencil. So again, I'm just dipping it into my paint and just applying a blob to the centre. That's the first layer of my dots done. They just look so pretty, and it's just a case now of setting these aside to dry. And because of the peaks that you get in the centre, I think it's better to let them dry naturally because they do blister if you use your heat tool, so you've just got to be patient. Now, the reason why I only have two and I cut my white cardstock into narrow strips is that it just makes it easier to manoeuvre so that you can do one row here, twist it round and do the other row without getting your fists and you know, making a mess of it. Let's try one of these small flowers and see what these look like. What colour shall I go for? Let's go for this gorgeous pearlescent pink. I'm using my stylus for this just because you need a smaller tool because we haven't got anywhere near as much room to work on. So I'm going to add a dot. This is where you need a steady hand. It's harder to work on smaller pieces, or at least it is for me anyway. And then we can add a larger dot in the center. What color shall I go for the larger dot? I think I'll go for the purple pearl. And what size do I think I can get away with for that? Maybe the second size up crochet hook. There we go, just about. Again, here's the little tiny ones, so I'm just going to set these off to one side to dry as well. These are pretty much dry now. They look really pretty as they are, but we're going to make them look really special by adding a bit of dimension. Now, I'm going to be using some of the Nuvo drops. I find that these are the best ones to use because you don't end up with that Mr. Whippy peak that you do with some of these dimensional paints. So in my opinion, I like these ones. I think these ones are the best. Where shall I start? Let me just start off on this piece here, and I think these ones here are a bit drier, so I'm going to start here first. Let me just move that out of the way so that I don't end up smudging anything. And it's important to have a scratch piece of paper with these, just so that you can start it off, get rid of any air bubbles. Oh, come on, that one's being a bit of a pain to squeeze out. And then I'm just going to add some dots in each of these like this, and this is what transforms these, in my opinion. So easy to do. So here we go, we'll add a few of these, and the peaks will dome in a second, and you can make them as big or as small as you want. And what colour shall I have in the centre? I think I'll have blue in the centre. I really like the blue, so again I'm just going to squeeze a small amount out. And there we go. So that's that one done. And when they're dry, they just look so beautiful. Let me just show you what they're like when they're dry. They're just gorgeous. So I'm going to continue adding some more domed blobs to these, and as soon as I've done that, I'll be back. I've finished adding all of the dots to my embellishments, and this is what they look like. I just think they're so pretty. And these ones are nearly dry, and these ones are getting there. I just think these are so pretty, and these are what the larger one looks like as well. I've already stuck my finger in the yellow and it was nowhere near dry, so I've had to peel it off again and redo it. And now of course it's a bit wonky, but that's okay. So my advice is, once you've done these, just resist the urge to touch them. Just stick them on a tray. I've got mine on a plastic tray here, and I'm just going to stick these off to one side to dry overnight. So these have been drying overnight and these are set now, and if I hold them like this, I don't know whether you can see the gorgeous texture. Let me just stand up to see if you can see that. There you go. If I hold it there like that, you can see all those lovely raised bumps. Just absolutely gorgeous, and they feel so smooth and tactile. The colours are just gorgeously vibrant. I just love these. This one here is still wet because I couldn't resist the urge to just go in just now and add some more white dots on top just to decorate it even further. It is just so hard to know when to stop. These are the middle size ones. I just love these. Again, they just feel gorgeous, and I just think these, just one added to the back of an envelope, would look really pretty. You could group 6 of them together and pop them onto a little card, and they'd make wonderful Happy Mail gifts. These are the really tiny ones as well, so you know, I think the flowers are just absolutely wonderful. I love the little tiny dots as well. Now, to give you some ideas, this is a project I did a couple of years ago. I think I shared this at the beginning of the video. I just love the dots that I've got going on in the background here. This is really whimsical, and this one here was just done with acrylic paint. I didn't use any Nuvo drops on this one here, and I'll leave the link to this video here in the description box below so that you can see exactly how I made this. But I'm going to put my thinking cap on and see what I can come up with these. Of course, you know, if you don't have Nuvo drops, you can just make these type of embellishments just using acrylic paint, and you can make them as simple or detailed as you want to, and they just look pretty nonetheless. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it's given you some ideas for easy, simple dot painting. It doesn't have to be complicated at all, especially when you're doing them on a small scale like this. So if you enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you've got any ideas as to how you would use these in projects, then I'd definitely be interested to hear. But thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.